WL weekly update here. I'm Gabe, and I'm here with Zach and Joe. And we're here to talk about the pay-per-view that's coming up. So, let's go over all the matches. Number 1, we have the kickoff truth. Did I say the kickoff truth? Is that because R-Truth is going to win again and get me some points?
I can't dispute that. Honestly, Wade Barrett doesn't do anything. So, yeah, good for R-Truth for winning. Zach?
I'm going to have to be the voice of dissent here. I think King Barrett's been on a losing spree in pretty much everything that matters, and I really don't see him dropping this one to R-Truth. I think King Barrett's going to pull it out.
Okay, for all of you who are a little confused here, I'm not looking at any directions, Frank, but the first match is R-Truth versus King Barrett, the kickoff show, and R-Truth has won every single kickoff show he's been in, so I'm calling it for Truth.
No, I'm with you. King Barrett is a bigger jobber than Bo Dallas at this point because I'm pretty sure he's lost more kickoff matches than Bo Dallas has this year. Yeah, I got points for Truth. So, good job, Gabe.
I'm going to have to call it just the opposite. I think King Barrett's lost so many matches. For him to remain king and be booked as anything but a jobber, he really has to win this one. R-Truth doesn't take a big hit in credibility from where he's at on the card to losing to this year's King of the Ring winner, so I really think it's going to be King Barrett.
Alright, officially match number 2 on this is Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. This one, just going off of the track record here, a lot of people are going to think that Bray Wyatt is going to lose because Bray Wyatt loses the big one, but in this case, I don't think this is the big one. I think I think Bray has a chance to win this one and then ultimately lose it at SummerSlam in a rematch. So I've got Bray Wyatt winning over Roman Reigns via shenanigans. I don't think it's going to be a clean win, but a win's a win, points are points. So, safe bet here for me. I think Bray Wyatt. Gabe?
Superman Punch!
I think this one's a tough one to call. Bray Wyatt really needs a win to stay credible. He's awesome whether he wins or loses, but at the same time, Roman Reigns desperately needs something to keep him in the spotlight, and he seems to be where the push is at.
Superman Punch!
I see a 2-month feud here. All the Superman Punch parties in the world. They're
Superman Punch!
And yeah, he's going to throw out a lot of Superman punches, and Bray Wyatt's not going down in this match. Honestly, yeah, 2-month feud. I got Wyatt losing at SummerSlam, but I got Wyatt winning tonight.
I'm not sure if this feud will continue all the way to SummerSlam, but Bray Wyatt has the unfortunate forever has him in the league effect of not falling too far as the booking goes from losing. Bray Wyatt can take a loss. Roman Reigns really needs a win more than Bray Wyatt does at the time to stay relevant, and I think he'll go ahead and get the win. Next on the match, we have Randy Orton versus Sheamus. In this particular case, I think I really got to call this one for Sheamus. I think he really needs a bump right now. I think he needs to beat someone of the caliber of Randy Orton to show he's relevant, to show he can beat top-tier talent. I think losing to Randy Orton hurts him a lot more than Randy Orton losing to Sheamus would hurt Randy Orton. And I had to go ahead and call this one for Sheamus.
I think that Randy Orton is going over Sheamus. Sheamus already won Money in the Bank. He's going to be on the back burner for a while now. So, Randy Orton, I think, is going over.
Alright, as somebody who has picked Money in the Bank 2 years in a row, very successfully, I'm going to go with my Money in the Bank winner on this one. I think that Sheamus needs to maintain momentum. I think he needs to stay a credible threat to that title. Randy Orton is not doing anything. He doesn't have any relevant feuds. He's got nothing coming up, and he's a 10-time champion. Okay, he loses to a Money in the Bank guy. That's not a big drop on the roster for him. So I've got easy. I think easy points here are going to go to Sheamus.
I think this is easy points for Kyle. I think Randy Orton's going over. I think Sheamus will go on the back burner for a while so he can make his big surprise when he cashes in his Money in the Bank. Because they have to make that a surprise. Okay, so now we have a big match. We have the Marine. The Marine. Wait, salute! Salute!
Oh, God.
Nobody saluted but me.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Nobody saluted but me. We have John Cena versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. This is the biggest toss-up of the night. I am really hoping that Kevin Owens goes over. But we're going points for Joe. We're going points for Joe.
I'm going to bite the bullet on this one. I've got Kevin Owens going over. I think Owens is going to get that U.S. title and hold the U.S. title for a while, and John Cena is going to go up and start feuding with Seth Rollins after this. My money, I don't think I'm getting points out of this fight. I think this is going to be Kevin Owens.
I'm going to have to agree with Joe. I think Kevin Owens has this. He has a lot more to lose. If Kevin Owens jobs to John Cena, that kind of buries him on the roster. If he goes ahead and wins, he's great. He comes over to the main roster as the kind of guy who can beat John Cena clean in the middle of the ring. That's everything the WWE seems to want him to be. And at the same time, John Cena is John Cena. Whether he wins or loses, it's really not a big deal to him. So I think it's going to be Kevin Owens who gets the nod.
It's really interesting to me that Joe calls Kevin Owens, because if Kevin Owens does go over John Cena is going away for a while. John Cena is going away for a while.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Cena is going to go into the world title feud after this.
You really think that John Cena is going to be wrestling for the world title after this?
I absolutely do.
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane.
I don't know if John Cena is going to be wrestling for the world title, but being John Cena, he's certainly available to make himself a big name in whatever feud comes along. He can be placed anywhere on the card at any time, and it's perfectly justified. He doesn't need to win or lose this match to make that the case. There's really no big reason for John Cena to be winning this match. It doesn't set him up for anything. It's not a big accolade on his career.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, and I'm going to smirk out a little bit. Ratings are down. Cena's a consistent draw. I expect John Cena to go up to the main event to try to boost ratings, especially going into SummerSlam.
I just agree with you. Ratings have actually been up. Ratings have been up lately on Raw. So, I don't think so. But I do think John Cena is winning. Anyways.
Points for me.
What?
Points for me.
What?
Points for me.
What?
Points for me.
Okay, moving on. New Day Rocks. Really?
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 Nobody?
Really? Really? Fact.
Next we have Prime Time Players versus The New Day. And The New Day, with Xavier Woods on the team, is going over. And I'm going to get some more points because Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
You're getting really, really into trying to get me to clap for this. Really into it.
Nobody's clapping.
No one's clapping.
No one's clapping.
It is only you. This is a weird one because don't shake your head yet, Zach. The tag team champions are not on anybody's team. There are title holders that no one wants to pick up. Like I'm blown away. I think they are so irrelevant that New Day's going over. No one takes them seriously.
It does blow my mind that nobody has anybody from the primetime players.
No one. So, yeah, I mean, you have irrelevant tag team champions. So, yeah, I've got New Day. I think they should get the belts back. They have the heat. They have the power right now. I mean, they're red hot. They're just freaking wonderful. And the primetime players, I'm just blown away.
I'd have to agree. I think the primetime players are dead in the water. They're not going anywhere. They don't have any heat. They don't generate any attention. I really don't see them as anything but placeholders who are going to either drop the belt at Battlegrounds or SummerSlam, but they will be dropping it and most likely back to the New Day. I don't see any other way this is going to work out.
Well, if they're dropping it to the New Day, I think we can all agree. New Day rocks! New Day rocks! Alright, nobody's getting behind me.
No, nobody.
No one's getting behind me. Wow. I feel very, very... New Day rocks! Okay, no. Okay. Alright.
Main event time. I'm interested for this one, man. This is one I've been looking forward to for a while. I think these guys will have good chemistry. We got Seth Rollins versus The Beast, Brock Lesnar. Congratulations, Senior. I think you're getting points out of this. I don't see Lesnar going over Rollins. I see dirty, underhanded heelishness from Seth if he doesn't just grab the belt and run away at the end of the match. But that title's not going over to Brock. So, 5 points for Senior. Yeah.
My thoughts are along the same lines. I see Seth Rollins losing by disqualification or some shenanigans. I don't see Brock Lesnar getting beat. I certainly don't see him being beaten clean. I really don't think he'll be pinned or submitted. He wasn't pinned or submitted at WrestleMania. It's not going to happen at Battlegrounds of all places. But that being said, I don't see the title changing hands either. So I actually think Brock Lesnar might pick up the win, but he won't be picking up the title.
Okay, so these jobbers over here know nothing. Well, maybe they know that the title's not changing hands, but they don't know why it's not changing hands. It's not going to be DQ. It's not going to be Seth Rollins running away. Well, let me correct myself. It will be DQ, but Seth Rollins is pulling the chair trick. The chair's in the ring, the ref's down, Seth Rollins throws the chair to Lesnar and falls down. The ref comes up, and Rollins is laying on the ground. Ding, ding, ding! Rollins wins, DQ, Brock Lesnar.
So we're all in agreement that this is a 5-point match. It's either going to be 5 points for a Lesnar win, no title, or 5 points for a Rollins win via shenanigans, probably. I don't have Rollins going over clean. Anyone here have Rollins going over clean? Head turn?
No.
Head turn?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
No.
Alright, Rollins not going over clean. But, yeah, going over or keeping the belt. So, yeah. Zach, anything?
Be surprised to see Brock get the belt back at some point this year, maybe a little closer to WrestleMania. Probably not quite at SummerSlam. I'm thinking maybe more towards Royal Rumble, but it definitely won't be a Battlegrounds. The title's not changing hands this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you. Not a big enough show.
Not at all.
No.
All right. Let's move up to the Power 500. The pick of the week. I have to say that it's me and Joe. I picked up Charlotte, and that's going to be a surprise match on the card because Charlotte is going to wrestle, and she's going to wrestle with Sasha Banks, which is another great pickup by Joe. And I think he's going to get free points. And anybody else who didn't pick up, those people are stupid.
I like where you're coming from. Unfortunately, I already watched NXT, so I have results. I'm going to disagree with Gabe on that. We may get a surprise match. I've got Charlotte going over for points in a surprise match because I think it would be more of a tag match. I don't think I'm going to get a singles match out of this one. But yeah, definitely the draft pickup of the week. Gabe initiated the Charlotte draft, or the Charlotte pickup. I followed suit with Sasha Banks. Steve tried to get Becky Lynch, but he sucks and didn't have any points. So Becky Lynch went to Frank, correct? Correct? Okay. Frank got Becky Lynch, another solid pickup. Bayley not coming up to the main roster, still nursing her hand injury. That's kind of unfortunate because she's kind of the power four of the women's division in NXT. But yeah, solid picks here, and kudos to Chris for having Charlotte beforehand, picking her up in the draft.
Everybody, come on.
Oddly enough, we had to coax Chris into also getting Sasha Banks.
We helped no one.
Yeah.
Especially me. I didn't tell anybody to message anybody to pick up that person.
Yeah, he also didn't tell anybody to switch their pick from Bayley to Becky Lynch either.
They were just confused. They didn't know the difference.
Yeah, so a couple good picks. We expect some points out of this one. I can safely say as of right now, it's looking like I'm going to end up benching Connor, and we're going to have I'm going to throw Sasha on the card. I'm pretty sure Gabe's going to throw Charlotte out there for this card, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. Zach?
I don't know if it'll be Charlotte, but I would definitely be starting female wrestlers if I had any at this point. Something's got to replace the IC title. Women's wrestling seems to have the big push right now, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised at all if some women's match finds its way on the card. I might be planning something more along the lines of a Bella match. The Bellas seem to be on the card all the time. That'd be a good pick for me, but Charlotte's not a bad pick. As far as the IC title goes, unfortunately that one got scrapped. I saw Ryback picking up that match, but that's not going to be at this particular pay-per-view. I see it more towards SummerSlam, which is fine, but if I had women wrestlers, I'd definitely be starting them. I see that being the big thing this weekend.
Intercontinental title. Kind of heartbreaking. Some people had a chance to get some points out of here. Nobody has Big Show, so let's just write him off. But in terms of the Ryback owners and Miz owners, honestly, I guess I think I'm probably a minority here. Honestly, I thought the Miz was going to weasel his way out of the pay-per-view with the belt.
You're just biased. You're just biased because you have the Miz.
No, I like the big guy. I think he's a good champion. He's doing all right. Unfortunately, he got the staph infection, and that's going to hurt a lot of people for points. I could have gotten 10, or Ryback's... Who has Ryback? Do we know? Zach has Ryback. Oh, I'll pass the mic to Zach because I'm sure he has some insight.
I don't see a lot of titles changing hand at Battlegrounds. It's not the biggest of pay-per-views, and it's right before SummerSlam. I really don't think the big guy is going to drop the belt. If title changes are going to happen, I see it being at SummerSlam, which would not be beneficial to me because that would get Joe more points for The Miz winning the title, but Battleground was just not the place for the title to change hands.
Between you and I, with the Intercontinental feud, Miz and Ryback, actually, I think that one has some decent power to it. That they both have chemistry. I can see the two exchanging the title a few times during the year, kind of similar to what Ziggler and Miz did, but Big Show I give a complete write-off to.
Yeah, Big Show's not picking up the belt. I I don't know if they'll go for a title exchange. They seem to be finally pushing Ryback again. I see him picking up a couple of wins at decent pay-per-views. He'll build his name a little bit before he loses it. I got a feeling it'll be somewhere between SummerSlam and Royal Rumble. He'll lose it to someone I don't really know who yet.
Survivor Series.
Maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And I don't really think it'll be The Miz. He had his chance last year. I don't think they're going to go back that way.
I don't know. He did all right. It was good for Ziggler. He really built Ziggler up pretty well.
If I had to just throw a random guess out there right now, I'd randomly say maybe Cesaro or another Ziggler run.
Oh man, I got Cesaro in the U.S. title scene. I see a feud with Owens coming up for that one. Ziggler, of course, out of action for a little bit. He's going to be filming a movie.
Only 4 weeks, Zach says.
For a little bit.
Back before SummerSlam.
Well, I think that we can all agree that Dio and Zach are screwed. Because they both have Ryback, and Ryback is going to be injured for a while. And I think that the Intercontinental title is now a curse. I mean,
It's killed people. Like it ended Barrett
last year.
Yeah, it ended Barrett.
Final season.
It ended Bryan. Who else did it end? I mean, Ryback now. That's a bad belt to have. I mean, bet your money on the U.S. title and the world title.
last year,
How many points did the IC title get you last year, Joe?
Oh, it did fine last year until the Barrett change, and then it's just been a string of injuries.
Didn't you trade the IC title back and forth between two of your wrestlers last year?
I did, but this year it's cursed, man. It's bad. I wouldn't bet anything on the IC range at this point. There's just no stability there.
I see it kind of a different way. The IC title changes hands a lot. If you have someone in the IC title picture, they could pick it up and lose it and pick it up again, and it's the ability to drop it and pick it up again that gets you big points.
yep. The IC title could be big points if you're in that division. Apparently it changes hands and it's 10-point thing, so who knows with that.
I just think the inconsistency factor kind of ruins it for a lot of people. You can't really base your team on it because the title change can come out of nowhere. I mean, the title is a freaking RKO. It really is.
It can.
Alright, so to end this, we are going to go with our top free roster picks. I don't even have to say anything. NXT, the main roster, it blows my mind that nobody has anyone from the primetime players, and they're the tag team champions. Somebody should pick up anyone from the primetime players. I think that's guaranteed points.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I think the primetime players are going to lose the belts, and I think they're going to be irrelevant. If a babyface team comes up against New Day, I think it's going to be the Lucha Dragons. There's not much else there.
I'd have to agree with Joe. We're looking at 10 points to buy a wrestler. You need them to win at least 2 pay-per-views. They have the titles. They're not going to pick them up again. I think once the primetime players lose the titles, that's it for them, and you need them to win 2 months in a row. I just don't see them being around that long.
So, Joe, who is your free roster pick then? Who is on the roster that's free that needs to be picked up? That nobody has picked up?
I can't comment on the main roster because the main roster has done pretty well acquiring anyone who's going to get anything. One of you guys will have to refresh my memory. Who in NXT has Becky Lynch? Do you know?
I do know, and that person is nobody.
There you go. Becky Lynch, free in NXT. And she is, the last kicker is, she's awesome.
Divas are a good pick.
Yeah, the Divas are freaking solid this year. This is a great pick.
I agree, but who else besides anybody from the primetime players is a good pickup for the main league?
I think, I have to say, as far as the main league goes, there might not be a good pickup this pay-per-view. There's no one that's really worth spending 10 points on. It's very uncertain right now. You don't know if they're going to get you 2 wins to break even, and certainly not 3 wins. You can't really plan 3 months out right now on anyone who's not on a roster. I know The Undertaker was just recently picked up. That seems like a pretty big gamble to me. He's not going to get points until closer to the WrestleMania season, if he gets points at all. And you're gambling on his health, which I'm not sure if I would make that pick. If it was me, I'd say save my points and wait for a little bit and see if there's any developmental prospects from NXT that come up later in the season.
Finn Balor, extremely successful. I would be really surprised if he is he bought on both leagues.
No, Finn Balor's taken in the main league.
Main league, he's taken. Okay, NXT. Eyeball Finn Balor. I don't see him staying in NXT very long. Samoa Joe.
NXT, that'd be a good pick for me.
Okay, well, Zach says Finn Balor, but for main roster, I'm with Zach. I just don't have the primetime players being a good pick. It's 2 matches at this point. That's kind of unreasonable. Yeah, 3 to get points out of it.
They're not going to be around for 3 months.
I'm not saying that they're a good pick, but they're the only pick right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. They are the only pick on the main roster.
All right. We're going to do a score update right now. So, we're looking at, right now, a 3-way tie for first place in the main league. We have Kyle, Joe, Zach, all with 35 points. That's close spaghetti right there. And I said spaghetti. Thank you very much. Next, we have Frank with 30 points. Good job, Frank. Next, we have James with 25. Next, we have Gabe. That's me. I'm Gabe. With 20 points. We have Senior with 10. And in last place with a whopping 0 points, we have Steve. Loser.
He vapes.
He does vape. He likes TNA. With 0 points again. I'm just going to clear that up. 0 points. And NXT, we're looking at Josh, first place with 25 points. Then we have a 3-way tie for second place. And remember, there's only 5 people in NXT. And we have a 3-way tie for second place. We have Chris, Dio, Pam, all tied for second place. How crazy is that? NXT. Wow. And then in the last place we have Dell with 15 points. But I mean, come on. 10 points? 10 points away from first place? Psh, NXT is close. But I don't understand. NXT is still not even kind of close to the main league. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's pluses and minuses here. The main leaguers, the top of the main league, have more points than NXT guys. So, yeah, we straightened out our rosters a lot earlier. I mean, more matches per card. It's experience. That's what I chalk it up to. But I can say this in terms of not being in 0. NXT have all demonstrated that they can make points, and the main roster has a problem because there are some competitors on the main roster who can't get any points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to spread your team out. You have to understand that you can't have 3 world title competitors when there's only 1 world title match a night. Mm-hmm. You also can't go spending all your points on buying people that aren't going to produce points anytime soon. You can't end up completely bankrupt because it just doesn't do you any good.
I gotta say, if you only have enough points to buy 1 wrestler and it's not a guaranteed, you should never buy yourself to 0 points. Ever. You should never buy yourself to 0 points. And I think that everybody here can agree with that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, you can't be going bankrupt.
You never buy yourself to 0 points. Okay, so we'll be back next month with the Power 500 with who you should pick, the recap of the pay-per-view, and the points. So, everybody have a good night.